Good evening. Crystal Bodie Smith here from Capital City Hope Foundation, author of Final Wishes. Final Wishes is a guide for transitions from life to death. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm coming to you live. We are doing a 5-day series to let people know exactly what some things are that they need to be aware of. Okay? We talked about yesterday final wishes. We talked about what final wishes should be. We talked about the difference between final wishes and final expenses on yesterday. So I want to say welcome to everybody coming in. If you're a replay viewer, thank you so much for passing through. There might be some competition out here, so I'm not competing for anything. This is important. I'm not competing, so thank you for stopping through. Beer Man, hello. How are you, Beer Man? This is important. This is not one of your popular topics, but this is a necessary topic. I'm talking about the final wishes. And final wishes is an instructional guide that outlines how to leave your final wishes, how to prepare your family, how to pick the correct policy, how to make the transition easier, how to prepare for the unexpected death of children. And most people reading this book are taking a step in the right direction to be prepared for the transition of their loved one. Okay? So, let's get into what we're talking about here. Once again, this is about final wishes. We did address yesterday what your final wishes should be and the difference between final wishes and versus the final expenses. Today, we're going to talk about what you fear about death. And that's not a popular topic. And yes, I'm saved. Yes, I'm born again. I know that we should not all sleep. But I also know the Bible said that our people shall perish from lack of knowledge. How dare I write a book like this? Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's got to be done, y'all. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith, and I want to spread the knowledge because people need this information. Okay? As we go on and continue through the week, I'll be talking about things like you can't take it with you. I'll be talking about not shortchanging yourself. And the last day I'll be talking about, on the last day, just checking yourself to see if your life is complete and your business is in order. And I know people are going to pop in and pop out because this is not talking about money. This is not talking about things that people want to think about. But guess what? Sorry about that. Somebody called me, but I do apologize about that. All right, so let's get right into it. Once again, my name is Crystal Bodie Smith. So I want you to follow me, because this is going to be some good stuff. We're going to be talking live, and I'm going to give you me right now so you can see who you're talking to. Because I don't look like that right now, but that's me. All right. Hi. How are you? Whew. Let me take a seat. Okay. This is something, you know. Yes. How you doing, dear? All right. I got some people that's going to be popping in the room, so I got to get this done. So thank you so much. Share it. Let people know. So today's topic is, what do you fear? What do you fear? People, this is not an easy topic, but I have to let you know that people have to identify their fears. All right? People fear death, and they fear for specific reasons. All right? Everybody has their own reason for fearing death. What are the different things that I can tell you right now as a little heads up? Some things people need to know is they need to know things like who they want to be their guardian. Just be thinking about those little things. I'm just going to give you some nuggets right quick. But you need to be thinking about who you want to be a guardian. You need to be thinking about a lot of things. All right, but we're not going to go into all those things about guardians and beneficiaries and things of those natures. You know, who you want to be executive over your estate. Because out here, guys, I know we got millionaires and billionaires. We got all you guys making all this money. But do you have your business in order? That's my question. Do you have it in order? Okay, so look, here's what I want to do. I want to talk about some things like this. I want to talk about the answers to these questions that you might not have thought about, but you need to really consider. All right? I need for you to acknowledge these things because this is inevitable, y'all. It is something that happens, and it happens sometimes for people when they know about it, and other times when people don't know about it. It's like it comes unexpected and tragic situations, and I know that's never something we want to deal with. And God called me to do this because of the things I've been through. I have been through this several times with my mother, my brother, and my dad. I've been through it with cousins and uncles and aunts. And how many of you know you have been through watching somebody, go through some struggles in this area? All right. So here's number one. Number one, I want you to answer some things about what you fear. All right. And some of these things you might not have the solution. Some you may. Number one, you might just fear a generational illness. If your grandparents and your aunts and uncles and your parents all seem to have this thing. I'm going to tell you something, y'all. Everybody in my family got cancer, but I plead the blood of Jesus that I'm healed, healthy, and I will not get it. It can't come by me. I claim the victory every day. I thank God every day. I will not get that disease. I despise it, and I know that God will not inflict me with it, okay? So here's the deal. If you are afraid of generational curses, you don't have to be, but be aware of it. Understand what causes it. If it runs in your family, do not claim it. It doesn't have to happen to you, but you do need to take preventional measures. You do need to have annual checkups. You do need to know what it's all about so that you don't get this disease if it runs in your family. But I don't want you to be afraid of it. I don't want you to think that since everybody else in your family has diabetes or cancer or something, that you got to get it, because that's not true. I'm a living witness, y'all. I'm a living witness. So one of the things people are afraid of is generational curses, okay? Number two, some people are just afraid of the unknown. They just afraid of the unknown. They don't know what it's going to be. They're afraid because they see things happening all around them. They see tragedy. They see sicknesses. They just don't know what to expect, and they just afraid of death, period. They afraid of it because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what to anticipate. Therefore, they're not planning or anything. They just existing, pretty much. But we got to deal with this, y'all. We got to acknowledge it. So you do have to acknowledge the fact that this is inevitable. So we said, thank you so much for coming in the room. I do see you. I do see you, Carolyn. Hi. I don't know what your reason is for being here, guys. I don't know if you have seen people pass away. I don't know if you've had to deal with this topic or not, but I'm the author of a book called Final Wishes, and Final Wishes just kind of prepared people on all the things that happened, and one of them is facing fears of death. In order to plan accordingly, you have to face the fears, because if you don't know what you're afraid of, then you can't address the issues. And I'm here to help you address the issues. I'm not here to sell my book. I'm here to help you address the issues. Thank you so much for the love. All right, so we talked about people afraid of generational curses. We talked about people afraid of the unknown. People are afraid of pain and suffering, guys. People have seen people suffer. They have seen people suffer in the hospital. They have seen people on medication and tied up the tubes, and they're afraid that that might be them. So all I can say to you is, if any of these are your fears, then what you need to do is make sure that you are taking preventative measures so it is not you. Take those preventative measures by going to the doctor, by reading up on it, by understanding the disease, by knowing if it ran in your family, by eating well, exercising, doing all the necessary things, and acknowledging that you might be a candidate, but don't claim nothing. Don't claim nothing. I'm a spirit-filled believer, so I don't claim anything. I rebuke it all, regardless of what it looks like, okay? All right. Some people fear punishment. Some people fear punishment because they don't know how it's going to go down. They don't know if there's going to be something subjected to them because they think they did some wrong, and they think that God is going to inflict something on them. Or some people just fear punishment because they don't know if they do get sick, if somebody's going to leave them hanging. They just fear that. So people fear generational curses. They fear the unknown. They fear pain and suffering. Some people fear this. They fear, Lord, am I going to get old and am I going to suffer? People really, really, really fear this one. And this one is the main reason why people need to be sure that they handle their business. They fear about, what about my loved ones? They don't want to leave their people behind, and they fear this, and they don't know what they're going to do. So more details to come, but fear of the loved ones being left behind if something happens to them. All right? They fear loss of control of their life. We're talking about fears people have for death. First thing we said is a fear of generational curses. We said people have the fear of the unknown, not knowing what to expect. We said people have fear of punishment. We said people have fear of just worrying about what's going to happen with their loved one. We said people are going to fear lack of control of their life because, they got control of everything. And they fear that one day they just won't have control anymore. They fear that they just won't have control anymore. This may be true. This may be true. That's why you have to plan accordingly. You have to plan it out. Another thing people don't particularly consider is fear, but it's a major, major one. It's kind of like a reaction to the fear, and that's isolation, y'all. That's people just kind of keeping stuff to themselves, like if they're afraid. This is for the sickly or the terminally ill. Sometimes these patients, they go into isolation. They don't tell you what they're thinking. They don't tell you what they're feeling. In their mind, they're playing all these things out in their mind, scared, terrified, but you don't know what's going on. But they're thinking about all this stuff in their head. They're thinking about, Lord, I'm going to die one day. What am I going to do? How is it going to happen? Am I going to go in my sleep? They're thinking, oh my God, look at me, I'm losing weight. They're afraid, and they're not telling you everything. This is the fear. Isolation is the fear that normally happens to the victim or the person who's sickly, okay? That generally happens and they don't express themselves. So be real careful if you have somebody kind of sitting off to them side and not talking. Speak to them. Find out what they want. Once again, my name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm the author of Final Wishes, and I am out here to try to help people identify their fears so they can begin to get ready for preparation for a topic they never, ever want to deal with. But people, you really need to. I said it yesterday when we talked about the difference between final wishes and final expenses. And I talked about how, in the old days, we buried a lot of elderly people, grandparents, parents, and the sad thing is it's kind of reverse, y'all. So this is more reason why people have to be prepared, okay? These are the main things I want to talk about today. See, I'm just giving you nuggets. If you want to know more, if you go to www, let me see if I have it written some here. I got it written some here. Let me show it to you. Give me a minute. I'm going to show you that it's here. Okay, here it is. If you want to know more, and you go to rainpublishing.com/Crystal Bodie Smith. If you go to this website and, of course, put your www, you will be able to find out exactly what is happening. You'll be able to find out exactly what's happening with me, why I wrote the book, more about the book. You can even order the book there. I'm not sending you there to order. I'm sending you there to get the information. Okay? Now, I have a Facebook page too. If you want to know more and you want to keep up with what I'm doing, it's called, on that page, it's called www.facebook, of course, and then Final Wish Transition Guide. On Facebook, it's Final Wish Transition Guide, okay? If you go to those two pages, you can find out a lot, all right? Thank you so much for stopping by. I definitely would love to get with you. The last thing I want to tell you is I also have a club on Facebook for people who have inspirational, positive things, and I like what's the network. So if you're on Facebook, connect with me at the CCHF Hope Authors Book Club. The CCHF Hope Authors Book Club. Connect with me there, and you'll find out more. I see somebody tuning in. Thank you so much. We were talking about final wishes, and what I was doing was giving them an insight on this topic, final wishes. We were explaining the difference that people need to discuss and acknowledge when it comes down to them not knowing their fears. I certainly appreciate you coming by. I do hope that you spread the love, and I hope you catch the replay. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I will be back with more information, and I truly, truly hope that this helps somebody. God bless you. Have a good day.